Good morning. I have not made a full hack video in a little while, so I decided to make this for you guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mika, and I am a Seint artist. Seint, it is a beauty line primarily for cosmetics. They have skincare as well, and it is the best stuff I have ever used. Best makeup ever. You will see me posting that from time to time. So let me tell you a little bit about Seint. It is a customizable product line, which makes it easy. It makes it versatile. It makes it convenient. The products are also affordable. And one of the things they're known the most for are the customizable compacts. There are different sizes. This one holds either 4 larger tins or the smaller shadow tins. And like I said, there's all different sizes. I think the best size to start with would be the one that holds 8 larger tins. Gives you just enough to start with to have your set 3D foundation and room for extras, some eyeshadows and other things. This one holds 18 larger tins. This is a favorite, and I also especially love the Big Kahuna, which is a triple decker. These look a little messy because I have been switching out back and forth, trying to find the best one to have set for videos for you guys. But the nice thing about these is they're so wonderful to travel with. You don't have to have this big old clunky makeup bag for different shadows and things. Everything that you need is right there. You have your foundation, you have your lip and cheek colors, you have your eyeshadows, there's a lip balm, you can even have a perfume, there's a cleaning towel to clean your brushes. It just makes it fantastic, and you just customize it however you want. So that's the best part. You're not stuck with a bunch of products that you don't love, like the super popular eyeshadow palettes. You end up having a few favorites, and then you have all these other ones that you just never use. So you don't have to have that issue with Seint because you pick out the colors that you want. All right, so let's get started with HAC. For those of you who might not know what that is, it stands for highlight and contour. The combination of highlight, contour, and then your cheek color for a blusher is what makes up your face. Instead of having multiple layers of your foundation and then everything on top, it's designed so that ideally it's like paint by number. So you put your foundation where it needs to go, your contour where it needs to go, your cheek color where it needs to go. So I'll walk you through the process now. Now, depending on your needs, you might need to do a little bit of layering. If you have hyperpigmentation, if you have melasma, I do have a splat here. It's not as noticeable right now in the summer out in the sun. Even with sunscreen, it just tends to come out for me, which is probably the case for most people too. I've developed some melasma around my mouth. Now my color correcting isn't super severe, and it also depends again on the time of year. So that's something that can be suited to your needs if you do have a particular concern of something that, you really do prefer to camouflage. But even still, you end up with just a beautiful looking second skin cosmetic that looks really lovely and natural. It's not cakey. All of the products are cream based, which are super beneficial. This isn't your grandma's cream that I used to run from, especially being an oily gal. Anything cream, even liquid for a long time, we just kind of ran from. This is totally different. The ingredients are super beneficial. Cream is especially beneficial for those of us who are a little bit older. The product just doesn't lay into your crevices and lines and things that you don't want to accentuate. As well as having the cream-based products with good ingredients retains moisture in your skin. So essentially, the longer you use it, the better your skin becomes. Not that it replaces skincare, but it just has such great ingredients that it's good for you. With that said, it's really important to have a great canvas to start with. That does make a difference. I also did a video recently about dermaplaning, DIY, shaving your face at home, which sounds a little scary. I know it did to me for a long time, and it's really great for your skin. It takes off that excess layer, dead skin at the top, so it works as exfoliation. But getting rid of that facial hair, or even if it's just peach fuzz, makes a really big difference in how smoothly your product will lay on your skin, your application process. It's totally worth it to get over that hump of fear. And once you start doing it, you won't stop. It's super easy. It is not as intimidating as it sounds. So those are a few things. As we go along, maybe I'll think of some other things, but let's get started with our HAC. Highlight and Contouring 3D Foundation. So ideally you want to start with your setting spray, and Seint has a great setting spray. It works as a primer as well as a setting final spray at the end of your application. This is something that's super beneficial for me since I have oily skin, and it keeps my product on all day long, but it also works for all skin types. So it is a favorite for most people, not just for the oily girls at the beginning. So I've already done that. This is in a different bottle only because I will be honest, the spray nozzle I don't love. I feel like it comes out really liquidy. I prefer a fine mist. And no matter what I tried, I just couldn't really get it to work. So if you have a favorite bottle, go for it. Now, there is also some thought to the way that it comes out. I have been told that it's meant to be a little bit more wet when you put it on. I just don't like it that way. I don't prefer it. So again, I like a fine mist. I've already done that so that it's dry. I've also applied some to my lids, since I as well have oily lids, so that I can keep my shadow product on. So my next step is, again, because I'm an oily gal, sorry, you'll hear me repeating that probably over and over. I guess I just want to stress that, especially for those of us who are oily, you know, products can be an issue. So it's nice to just have tips and tricks to help with that. So I have a loose powder that I do apply all over first. This is the well, it used to be the B squared brush. They renamed the brushes, the bronzer and blush brush. But all of the brushes, even though they're dedicated for a specific task, you know, everybody has their favorite, and they are multifunctional, even for more than what they were designed for. So I have that all over. Now, Seint does make a vanilla dust. It's called vanilla dust. It's a dusting powder, and like everything else, it's in a tin, so it fits right there. I love it for travel, but because I do use quite a bit of product, I would just go through it really fast, and I just prefer to have a loose tin. This is Laura Mercier. This is a favorite, even though it's really not very translucent on me, but it doesn't matter because I use it as a, you know, as a base layer underneath my foundation. I also like Bare Minerals. Those are just some of my go-tos, but you can, you know, pick a favorite if you do want to have a loose powder, but just make sure it's a good one. Pay attention to the ingredients in your products. Make sure that they're quality ingredients, that they're good for you. It really does make a difference. Okay, so I did that. I also want to put a little extra of that powder on my lids, again, just to work more as a foundation primer type of thing for me. I also do like Too Faced eye primer. I use that sometimes. Okay, and I do apologize in advance because this video is probably going to take a little while, but it goes really fast when you're not talking and you're not trying to explain how to do this to everyone. Okay, so have several different brushes. This is the, I am blank today on my names, the blending brush. This is one of my very favorite go-to brushes, and all of the brushes, all of them are double-ended. So not only do they multitask for what they were designed for, but just in the fact that there's two of them on each stem is terrific. Okay, so I'm going to start with, so ideally, if you're a new user to Seint's 3D foundation, I will recommend for you at least 2 colors. It's a system that's it works, again, I can't talk today. It's designed to work in layers, as I explained, and in order to achieve the 3D foundation, 3D is what? 3-dimensional. Our faces are not 1-dimensional, they're 3-dimensional. So if you're thinking conventionally of your foundation color, traditionally like in other product lines, one swoop of a color, that's a flat finish. Now there's some beautiful products out there, and you know, prior to using Seint, I had my favorites, great quality products, great quality foundations. But I can see a difference, and I really don't have any pictures. I really wish that I did, of the before makeup as opposed to now Seint's makeup. It's just, it could be pretty, but it's just kind of a flat finish because again, it's 1-dimensional and we're not 1-dimensional. So with Seint's foundation, you're gonna get this beautiful coverage that's not heavy, not cakey. You need very little, but you get the 3-dimension because you have different colors on. Your face is different colors. I hope that that makes sense. So I use 3 colors for my basic highlight, and this is what Seint calls what traditional companies call foundation. They're called highlight colors, which I know can be a little bit confusing, but ideally at least 2 to start with, and I'll explain as I go. So my first color, actually, it's not my first color. It's my second color, which for me is amber, the second one right here. I'm just going to put a little bit, just because this is me and everybody's going to be a little bit different. I'm trying to camouflage a little bit of these shadows that I have from some droopiness that have come with age, unfortunately. So I do that first before I start, just so that I don't forget, because I do feel that it makes a difference. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and start with the contouring, but you can do your highlight first, your contouring first, whatever order. When you get started with Seint, I will send you some video tutorials, and there are different methods. And again, you just have to find what works for you best and your favorite method, but basically it's the same application. It just might be in a different order. So this is a buff brush. This is the densest brush that Seint makes. I would not recommend this brush for a new client. It is a heavier application, which I really don't prefer a heavy application unless I'm getting more glammed up and I want just a little bit more product on. But it's really great for, I just started using it recently for my contouring. This is a detail brush. This is a very popular brush for contouring. See, it has this nice shape to it. But for some reason, because this is thicker and denser, I don't know, the smaller end, I kind of like that just for the contouring. So start underneath your jawline. And again, you know, I can send videos, cheat sheets for you how to do this if you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed just don't know how to get started, which obviously you wouldn't, because this is a different application than anything else on the market. Now, it looks like I'm applying a ton, but this is my Indigo Contour. Looks really dark and scary, but it's not once you blend everything out. And there's not really that much on there. It looks like there is, but it's really not. So you want to go under your jawline, not above it. You don't want to have shadowing above, just underneath to create that shadow and definition. And then above your forehead, I have a very short forehead, so I stay very close to the hairline, but it's great to pull it down if you have a larger forehead that you want to try to minimize a little bit. Oh, good. I think my lighting's actually pretty decent, that I think you can see what I'm doing. Sometimes I feel like you can't. Now, I actually have a little bit of natural shadow in the contour area for my cheekbone, but so I'm just gonna put a little bit. I don't have to go too much, depending on how much drama I want for the particular day. But basically, you just want to touch your cheekbone, just find it, and then you just kind of want to hug right underneath it. And then I can go a little bit higher, like right on the cheekbone, just for lift. Again, just with that age thing, you always want to be lifting a little bit. Now with the contouring, I am kind of dragging it a little bit, but you basically want to just kind of stipple it on. And again, this is go down your temples much faster when you're not talking and pausing. And you can literally do, I do my face under 10 minutes, full face. Maybe a little longer if I want extra drama for my eyes or something like that. All right, so that's my contouring. Oh, and my nose. I always forget my nose. And you know what? This is something that you don't have to do. I do suggest a little contouring for everything, you know, but the nose, just to give you more of that 3D effect. But maybe you don't want to contour your nose, and that's okay. You don't have to. My nose is a little wider, so once I learned to do this, I do feel like it makes a difference. I like the way it looks a little bit better. So you're going to look a little silly until everything's blended out. You're going to have these crazy lines of color, and some of the application methods are also like a finger paint method. You could do it with your fingers if you didn't want to use the brushes. I have tried it. I don't love it, and I feel like I use a lot more product, but some people love it. So I'm going to take, this is actually my brightest color, and just go right down the bridge. And there's something called, if you haven't heard of it, your triangle of light. You just want to focus like the brightest colors in this area because it draws attention to your eyes. That's where you want people to be looking. All right, and I'm going to take that blending brush. It's going to just a little bit to kind of press it. And pressing is a great thing, especially for age. A little bit down here. I usually don't start there, so I might have to reapply that. Okay, and now my main color, which is Mango. Mango is a great, super popular camouflage color. But for me, it's my main color. But this is a great base color, again, for some of those of us that need some color correcting. And notice how I'm skipping around where I've already contoured. So if you're gonna do color correcting, I mean, there's so many videos on these, and there are artists that do phenomenal jobs on explaining all this. You would do something like the Mango, depending on what you're correcting, if it's redness, something muddy and brown like melasma, and then you would press your main color on top of it to then get the actual correct color match for you, if that makes any sense. Okay, so now this is why I typically should have done that brightening last. I'm going kind of a little bit out of order than I normally do here, but that's okay. It's still gonna work. Okay, and I don't know if you can see it, I have some sun damage and pigmentation here, especially on this cheek. So for that, my mango does do a decent job, but if you're a little bit darker like me, you might actually have to put a darker color, again darker, and then you would do lighter on top to camouflage that. But if I use a cream, not cream, everything's cream, or mostly everything's cream, one of the matte lip and cheek colors, it does a pretty good job of covering that up. Okay, so let's take that second color, which the main color foundation or highlight is going to be in like this areas, and then you're gonna do your second brightening color in like this triangle area, and then up here, and then I do the third one as you saw, but I'll probably go over it again. I lost my train of thought. What was I doing? Oh, okay, so triangles underneath my eyes. So the bottom portion of the blending, or the bottom portion of the detail, there is a difference, but I find that they're pretty similar. Either of those, so take that accent color, and then you're just going to do like a triangle, a large triangle, pull it down, and again, it's very little underneath the eyes. Okay. And then I'm gonna take, actually like that dense brush again, that smaller end that had the indigo. And see, there's such little product that I use. There's really nothing even left, but I can wipe it if there's nothing even to wipe. The brushes don't really hold a lot of product. This one holds the most so, but I had so little of the contour that it did not stay on the brush. All right, so let's do, so if I do, I'm gonna do this Sandstone. It's super popular. So if you just kind of smirk a little bit and then just go right above. I'm gonna go a little above the apples because I want more of that lift. And this is just to apply it. And then I'm gonna blend it out with that blending brush. Grab that blending brush again. And then when I do tend to kind of stipple and blend around, sweep it a little bit, and you just blend it together with your contour. And then you have this nice seamless kind of two-toned effect. Hopefully you can see that. And I know I still have my nose, don't worry, we're gonna blend that out. I meant to do my eyes first. Tip, always do your eyeshadow first, because if you get fallout, then you don't have to worry about cleanup, but hopefully I'll do an okay job. So I did do, as I mentioned, the setting spray, did a little bit of dusting powder, and I'm gonna just do just a basic eye, nothing super fancy. I don't even know what I'm doing, so we'll just play it by ear. This is a smudge brush. This is a good one. I typically start with a lighter base. That's Sabrina. Just kind of wash that all over like I did that translucent powder. Just go right on top. Just the entire lid from inner corner all the way out. Okay, and let's do something fun. So this is ginger. It's a little shimmery. Now, for me, my lids are a little darker. It doesn't always quite show. As the true color that it is. So I'm gonna pack it in a little. I don't want to say heavy because it's really not heavy on me. I guess if you were super fair, had super light lids, this could be really heavy, but all right, so a little ginger. Okay, then I'm gonna take, this is Multitasker, super popular for eyeshadows, for lips, for lip lining, for eyeliner. Great little brush. All right, so you know what? We're gonna take Mama. It's like a light pink. I'm gonna just put that right in the inner to about, maybe not quite halfway into the lid. Okay, and then let's do something a little darker. This is the eyeshadow brush. It has a dense, great little end and a nice fluffy blending side. This is probably the one I recommend for your first eyeshadow brush. And let me show you about this cleaning towel. So this little guy, it's just this little piece of, I don't know what it is, like foam or something, and it's great because in between colors you just clean out your brushes. Works really great, super handy having it right there with your tins. Okay, so let's see. You know what, let's do, maybe we'll do a little less basic than I thought. This is called Mi Hija, which is Spanish for my daughter. And then, okay, if you see how I'm doing, just want to do like a windshield wiper. In and out. Now this is pretty bright, but I'm going to tone it down, don't worry. Okay, so I'm trying to practice what I recently learned. My eyes are a little bit hooded, not a lot, but that's something that even if you don't initially have hooded eyes, can happen over time. More of that wonderful droopy effect that we can get. So it's important to keep your eyes open so that you can see where the shadow is laying. And then you want to go above the crease a little bit if you have hooded eyes. I just posted some really great, oh, here's that cleaning towel, comes in super handy. Some really great tips for hooded eyes. Okay, so this is where this guy comes in super handy now. And you just want to sweep all over, just sweep, keep sweeping. And that will just soften it, blend it out. See how it's not as hard looking as this? This looks a little crazy. Okay, clean my brush so I get that extra product off. Then let's do this side. Oh boy, I'm at almost 30 minutes. Thanks for hanging in there with me, and please, not that I would know the difference, but you can fast forward. Save it for later. Okay. I'm going to clean that brush. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a little bit, now with this dense guy, it's really good. This is called Trust. I tend to use Cocoa a lot, but I'm going to use Trust today. Just corner. So upper corner, and again, see, I'm going to look in my mirror over here because I can't do it on the phone. Keep my eye open. Just go right above your traditional corner line that you would most likely see or do, just a little higher. Keep that lift going. Okay. It's just so hard to remember to keep your eyes open. I guess it's just a natural reaction to having something so close to your eye. We just tend to want to close it to protect it, I suppose. Okay. So there's something, I'm not quite doing it, but there's something called, if you do like a reverse 7. So I just put a little bit towards the bottom, just a little, and then you want most of it to go the top. Okay. And okay, blend again. See if I can speed this up a little bit for you guys. All right, I think that's it. Good to go. And then if I take that multitasker, take a little bit of that trust again, go underneath, just a little, and just really important, remember not to drag a full thick liner all the way into your lids, either top or bottom. That just makes your eye look closed. So if you do that, try really hard to get out of the habit. Not really sure where that came from. I used to do it too. Why we think that that looks better, but it actually doesn't. So if you want to try one eye one way and then one with just doing it like the last third or the last, half, depending on the size of your eyes or what you have going on, just see for yourself and you can see a difference. Okay, so this is a Black Friday liner. I'm going to use that. So I have this tiny little container that I like. So if I put setting spray on there, and this, I'm going to use the line brush, which is great for eyeline. This is a really thick, just stiff little guide that creates a nice clean line. So if you wet that first and then put it into your Black Friday liner. You could also do this with an eyeshadow too, probably. And I'm gonna, again, not all the way, but just that last probably third. And I'm just gonna drag it out, make a little little cattail, just a little one. And that you can go more dramatic if you'd like, or maybe for the occasion. And hopefully you can see that. Clean that little guy. Now I'm just gonna, that same Friday liner I really like too for my brows, but I just recently started tinting my brows. Wow, I am addicted. Thank you, Jen. I just thought that would be, all these things just seem so intimidating to most of us and scary. But I just have thinning, on the edges, but the rest of it just looks really nice and full and dark and sharp. So that's a time saver right there. Okay, and I'm almost done. I think what's missing. Oh, okay. So let's go back to that accent. The last third color, if you have a second color, then you would apply it the same way. But since I have a third color, which is why it's fun to have a third color because you get that extra pop. Okay, so one of these small ends of either the detail or the blush. And I'm just going to put very little. This is Candlelit is my pop highlight. Okay, so you're just going to dab it right in the inner corner and sweep it down the nose, just the top portion of the nose. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. And because, okay, and then I'm just gonna press a little bit with the blending brush. Okay, and if you can see, it just makes it a little bit brighter. And since I did it out of order, let me just go back up here. A little bit more. Cupid's bow. Okay. Blend a little bit. And the last thing I'm gonna do is, I'm actually gonna use this guy. See how cute they are? They come in these little tins and they all have a lid. So you could keep them single. Like sometimes it's nice to keep some single, like a lip color. You can just take it with you, drop it in your purse without having a compact. But this guy is a perfume. This is perfume number 4. I really like it. It's also an illuminator. So you can take either this or another illuminator. You just kind of put this wherever you want, ideally right up here, but I also like to put it down my nose and even just that inner top apple of the cheek, and then right above my brows. And you know what, one other thing I like to do, I always do it, but take that multitasker brush again, and I'm gonna take, this is Pearl, it's a different illuminator, and you just want to put a little bit just for pop right under the brow bone. But you have to be careful, you have to stay super close to the brow, just right underneath your, the brow bone, I meant your eyebrows. Because if you drag it too low and right on top of the brow bone, it pulls your brow bone forward. It's an illusion because of the light color, and it's gonna add to that droopy hooded effect on your eye. So if you do this, you just wanna stay really high. And the little end is good for, I'm just gonna go right, little inner corner. Okay, we're almost done. We're getting there. I am going to use this crazy looking color. I think it's called Lolly. I can't remember. It was a seasonal, and see how bright and crazy it looks, and when you put it on, it's pretty soft. This is a gloss and it's very sheer. And the gloss live-in cheeks will also go really sheer on your cheeks, so they don't look crazy crazy bright. But even the more matte ones, like the Sandstone, you just control how much you want to put, and you take so little that when you look at a color that looks intimidating, it's not going to be once you put it on. Okay, I think I just need to now, super important, if you don't have these, you must have one of these. This is a Perfector sponge. So there are other beauty sponges out there. What is the name of the really beauty something, really popular brand? Oh, I just blanked out. This is the best one. Beauty blender, that's what it's called. This one is really soft and squishy, which is really important because it gives you movement. And some of the other, I have like 5. Some of the other ones are really hard and dense. I didn't know that they could be this soft. This is the difference of your product looking like second skin. So when you're all finished, you want to make sure that you do this. And recently I learned too, which is probably not a bad idea if you're new to applying Seint and you're getting used to it, especially if you're having to do some color correcting, do this after every layer, every step, just to keep it pressed and, again, that second skin look and feel. You just want to completely drench it, squish all the water out. I've already done that. And then take a clean towel and squeeze it in the towel. So it just feels kind of cool. It doesn't really feel wet. It's just damp. You don't want it too dry or too wet because it'll pull your product off or ruin what you've just done. So you just want to start pressing, and then just kind of press up everything that you've applied. This will not only blend it well, just press it into your skin, but it'll also remove any excess product. So just again, keep pressing up, and I'm going to take a little extra tension on my nose for that contouring I did. Get rid of those crazy lines. I go right over my eye makeup. So just make sure that your liner, or if you do have mascara, I usually go over my mascara too because I wear waterproof mascara, but just make sure that's dry. But I'm going to put my mascara on after I'm all done. And then you can take the corner, go under the eyes. And another thing I didn't do, but it's great. Again, another tip for oily skin gals. The vanilla dusting powder is also, where did it go? Really great for, it's super finely milled. And apparently you can't tell, what's going on with my earring, if a powder is milled really finely by just looking at it. But this one definitely is. There are a couple other lines out there that are, I can't think of the names, so I'm not familiar with them. But so I want to take just a small end. Where is, sorry, blending brush. And just tap it and just press. This is so that I don't get any creasing under my eyes. And that's it. I'm all done. Except for mascara. I have been blessed with long lashes, but they are super straight, so it looks like I don't have any. So this is definitely a must, and this definitely gives me that finished effect. Mascara, your favorite mascara, Seint Beauty, formerly known as Maskcara Beauty, oddly enough, does not have mascara. Not yet, anyways. I keep waiting for it. This is JOAH Lash Up. This is a favorite. I also like the Secret Express. This is more of the fibers, the lash fibers, similar to Thrive's. That's a great one. I love Grand Lash, Tarte. Most of the Tarte ones, you can just look at reviews. I actually haven't used a Tarte one in a while. I am just going to do, which what I typically do is my top lashes. I haven't really done my bottom lashes for several years. Unless I have a super glam occasion where I want a little more oomph. That's it, guys. This is Seint's 3D foundation. Oh, forgot to spray my setting spray. It'll stay all day long. It won't move. It won't budge. If your product isn't staying on, you probably have the wrong color. That's a really, really big clue. It's probably too light. It's probably the wrong color. Most of us tend to go lighter than what we think. With Seint, you typically want to go darker than what you think. It's just the science of it, the way it works. The products, the highlights all have a yellow base undertone, and that's intentional to give us warmth and glow. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help. Shoot me a message for a color match, and so we can get you started. And I also have a job form right on my Facebook site that you can go to and fill out and go straight to my inbox. Have a great day. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Be the best you.